This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
The group of ministers uphold the caste-based census in effect from December this year. Justice Govindarajan may have set things right for the schools, but parents are still clueless about fees already deposited. A statewide strike by TASMAC employees fizzes out. Business goes on as usual at most shops in the city. A bumpy ride may give you the lumbago or even cost a life, but you can now report of an illegal speed breaker in your area. Porn films sell like hotcakes on the streets of Burma Bazaar under the very nose of a police station and a high court. And guess who's the new buddy on your wall? The Chennai Traffic Police joins the Net Club. This is the Late Night News on NDTV Hindu, and I'm Evelyn Matthew. A look at the stories making national headlines as well. T.S. Darbari removes the mask over Suresh Kalmari by providing vital documents proving that he gave the go-ahead for the AM Films deal. Former Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Arjun Singh speaks out, claims all responsibility for the tragedy that continues to rock Bhopal. The BJP questions the Prime Minister's statement on autonomy for Kashmir. Sparks fly in the Rajya Sabha as well. Asked about Mamata Banerjee's Lalgarh rally, P. Chidambaram says no one from the government should be involved with Maoists. Barely 53 days for the big games, Delhi's Chief Minister inspects the roads after her deadline to clear debris expires. And a school in Kolkata demands fee from a father who lost his son due to alleged corporal punishment. Well, the big news in a major move by the government, the centre has approved the caste-based census, which will be implemented from December 2010. This decision was taken by a group of ministers that met in New Delhi today. The cabinet, however, will take a final call on the issue soon enough. Our senior correspondent Peer Mohammed now joins us live from our newsroom. Peer, for a state like Tamil Nadu, which is widely known for its caste-based politics, how big is this announcement?
Definitely, Evelyn, this is big news for Tamil Nadu in the context of recent rallies in Tamil Nadu in favor of caste-based census, particularly the Patali Makkal Katchi, the caste-based party in northern Tamil Nadu has conducted a huge rally with Lalu Prasad Yadav as the chief guest, and they have demanded that this should be done. The last time we had a caste-based census was in 1931, and we have been basing our calculations, electoral arithmetic, everything on 1931 census. We never had any caste-based census after the British left India. So this has been the demand of all the OBC leaders in North as well. So this recently the Supreme Court has wanted Tamil Nadu government to have a detailed statistics of OBC caste population in Tamil Nadu in the context of 69% reservation in government jobs and other areas. So that also has led to the debate on whether we need to have a caste-based statistics so that we can, in allotment of jobs in government, when there is 69%, we should know how much percentage of a particular caste is there in Tamil Nadu. So in that context, this is big news for Tamil Nadu, and when it is implemented in February next year, that will be, many people will try to claim credit for that, Evelyn.
Right. Also, Peer, we have many parties championing the cause of different castes here in Tamil Nadu. So do you think there will be any impact at all in the assembly elections that's coming up in the state next year?
Definitely, the parties would like to claim credit for that, including the PMK, also to some extent the other parties. Because the 69% Reservation Act was passed by the AIDMK regime in 1993. and they have been saying that, particularly Jayalalitha has been saying that it has been on since MGR's days, and I have taken it forward by passing a law in the Tamil Nadu Assembly. And she will also say that she hasn't made any statement on caste-based enumeration yet, but she will also have a say in this, particularly given the ongoing war of words between Chief Minister Karunanidhi and Jayalalitha on this 69% reservation, and in which Jayalalitha took a step ahead and said, it was during my regime that this act was passed. That is why this reservation is intact in Tamil Nadu. Evelyn.
Right. Thanks very much indeed, Peer, for joining us with those details. Peer Mohammed there giving us the details about that caste-based census's comeback after the British Raj and its impact here in the state. Now, while one would have thought that the Justice Govindarajan Committee's announcement that the fee structure suggested by it will stay for this academic year would bring some respite to parents, it seems like the reverse is happening. Parents are livid that the schools are yet to clarify their stand. Some schools are even refusing to pay back the excess fee collected at the start of the academic year.
வசூல் செய்யப்பட்ட கூடுதலான கட்டணத் தொகையை அந்தந்த மாணவர்களிடத்தில் திரும்ப ஒப்படைக்கணும் கல்வி நிறுவனங்கள். அரசு பரிந்துரைத்திருக்கிற கட்டணத் தொகையை மட்டும்தான் வசூல் செய்யணும். அப்படி கூடுதலா வசூல் செய்யப்பட்டிருந்தால் அதை திருப்பி ஒப்படைக்கணும்.
Returning the question is not there, because based on the fees that we collected, we have made payment for the teachers, we have provided an increment to the teachers, we have done a lot of other developmental activities for which we have made use of this fund, and therefore returning may not be possible.
The round 2 of the war of words between parents and private schools has begun. A day after Justice Govindarajan announced that the fee structure recommended by the committee led by him will stay for the year, parents want their money back. The money they gave as excess fee collected by private schools. Here are some questions parents want answers for. When will the schools refund excess fees collected? Will the government ensure that no school collects more than recommended? Who will monitor whether the quality of education suffers?
கோவிந்தராஜன் குழு கமிட்டி என்ன சொல்லியிருக்குன்னா, ஏதோ கல்வி கட்டணம் பழைய கட்டணம் தான் கட்ட வேண்டும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்குது. அந்த பழைய கட்டணம்ங்கிறது என்னங்கிறது எங்களுக்கே தெரியல. அதனால கவர்மெண்ட் என்ன அறிவிச்சிருக்குதோ அந்த கல்வி கட்டணத்தை எல்லா பள்ளிகள்லையும் அந்தந்த கல்வி அதிகாரிகள் போய் நோட்டீஸ் போர்டில் ஒட்டி அது ஒரு சீல் மாதிரி ஒன்று போட்டு விட்டாங்கன்னா எங்களை மாதிரி உள்ள பேரண்ட்ஸுக்கு அதை பார்த்துட்டு என்ன ஏதுன்னு கேட்கறதுக்கும் எங்களுக்கு இது இருக்குது.
Educationalists say schools that are supported by trusts should not depend on fees collected from students.
Commercial interest cannot be allowed in running a school. The school has to be a charitable one. They can appeal to the government to provide them some subsidy, or they can go for a philanthropist to give them necessary funds because they run a school in a very good manner. If they are not able to do that, they cannot be in the field. They have to go out of the field.
Some parents NDTV Hindu met have threatened to move court if the excess fees is not refunded. In Chennai, Minal Shah, NDTV Hindu.
In other news, the TASMAC officials in the government have been creating quite a cocktail in the last few days to ensure that the strike organized by TASMAC workers turns into a mocktail, particularly after the strike got support from a united opposition. From an indefinite strike to a one-day strike, the TASMAC officials first couldn't manage to keep the pressure up on the government, and even the one-day strike demanding job security lacked the true spirit.
Job security, pay on par with other government workers, weekly offs, yearly holidays and better incentives. These were some of the demands by the men who churn out the maximum revenue to the Tamil Nadu government. But the one-day token strike by the Tamil Nadu State Marketing Corporation workers lost fizz after a few hours, thanks to the alleged high-handedness of the police.
இன்றைக்கு நாங்கள் ஆர்ப்பாட்டம் நடத்துவதற்காக இங்க கலெக்டர் ஆபீஸ் முன்னாடி முறையாக நாங்கள் கமிஷனர் ஆபீஸ் முன்னாடி அனுமதி கேட்டோம். அனுமதி மறுக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறது. எனவே அதையும் மீறி நாங்கள் இந்த ஆர்ப்பாட்டம் டாஸ்மாக் ஊழியர்களுடைய அந்த கோரிக்கை நிறைவேறும் வரை எங்களுடைய போராட்டம் தொடரும் 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 என்பதை இதன் மூலம் தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். கருணாநிதியுடைய காட்டாட்சி தர்பார்.
The strike was backed by the AIADMK, CPM, CPI, PMK and the MDMK. Not surprisingly, because it was during the AIADMK rule in the state that many of the workers were hired. The striking employees were reportedly told by the TASMAC officials that losses due to the strike should be borne by them.
வேலை நிறுத்தத்தில் ஈடுபட்ட டாஸ்மார்க் தொழிலாளர்களை இந்த காட்டுமிராண்டித்தனமான அந்த ஆட்சி, கருணாநிதியுடைய ஆட்சி, அந்த தொழிலாளர்களை எல்லாம் சிறைப்பிடித்து மூடிய கடைகள் எல்லாம் ரவுடிகளை வைத்து காவல்துறை துணையோடு அந்த கடைகளை பூட்டு உடைத்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறார்கள். ஆகவே விடுதலை செய்த கைது செய்த தொழிலாளர்களை உடனடியாக விடுவிக்க வேண்டும் என்று உள்துறை செயலாளர்களிடத்தில் இந்த கூட்டமைப்பினுடைய குழுவின் சார்பாக 4 சங்கங்களும் உள்துறை செயலாளரிடத்திலே மனு கொடுத்திருக்கிறோம்.
It is business as usual in most of the nearly 7,000 TASMAC retail outlets in Tamil Nadu. The opposition-backed one-day strike of TASMAC employees has fizzled out. DMK government has once again proved that it can put down strikes very easily. In Chennai, Peer Mohammed, NDTV Hindu.
The DMK there showing off its power and its capability there. Now, every time you go over a speed breaker in Chennai that's way too high or takes you by surprise, you've probably cursed the authorities. But guess what? In most cases, it's not the authorities to blame, and it's much more than mere nuisance value. Almost 15% of accidents in the city are caused by irregular speed breakers that are laid on the city's roads, often by residents' associations without the clearance of the traffic police and the corporation. So for all those who lay speed breakers on their own, our crime reporter Celine doesn't have very good news.
Seeing is believing. Here on Abiramipuram 4th Main Road, there are 4 speed breakers, almost every 10 meters. And they have allegedly been laid by the residents' welfare associations without clearance from the authorities and in clear violation of norms stipulated by the Indian Road Congress. Those who erect these structures without permission will face action.
They should not, and actually speed breakers are not advised, but most of the people, sometimes resident associations do resort to such kind of things on own volition. That kind of speed breaker only creates such kind of complications. It increases the traffic rather than slowing the speed and all.
According to Indian Road Congress standards, the central height of a speed breaker must not exceed 10 centimeters. The shape must be parabolic. The width must be at least 3.5 meters. It must be painted and illuminated. Warning signs coated with reflective paint must be placed 40 meters in advance, mentioning the desired speed at which the road hump can be negotiated. Most motorists who are forced to take this stretch have a litany of woes.
Of course, we face the back pain, surely.
The speed breaker போட்டுருக்கு எச்சரிக்கை பலகை கிடையாது, திடீர்னு பார்க்குற மாதிரி இருக்குது. அதனால் சடனாக பிரேக் போட்டால் பின்னால் ஒரு வண்டிங்க முன்னாடி ஒன்று மோதிக்கிட்டோம், நிறைய சண்டைங்க ஆக்சிடென்ட் நிறைய நடக்கிறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு தான் அதிகமாக இருக்குது.
இதால் என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா பேக் பெயின் வருது, வண்டி ஓட்டுற நமக்கும் கஷ்டப்படுது, வண்டிக்கும் டேமேஜ் ஆகுது.
Research by a professor of the Indian Institute of Technology reveals that poorly erected speed breakers led to 87 fatal accidents in Chennai last year.
Sometimes, we have come across cases where speed breakers have caused fatal accidents.
Now take a look at these speed breakers at the IIT campus. They meet the standards recommended by the Indian Road Congress.
Speed breakers in IIT is laid on norms, so it's more comfortable.
Ironically, a feature of road design that is supposed to save lives is proving to be counterproductive. In Chennai, Salim for NDTV Hindu.
Now, it's just not fake DVDs that are available aplenty on the streets of Chennai. It's also now become a hotbed of pornography. Every kind of porn, from XXX to dose in Hindi, English and Tamil, are also sold illegally. But here's the shocker. Children who are all barely around 18 years of age are involved in peddling these DVDs, which sell like hotcakes in our city. Not only that, shopkeepers literally hound you to sell their wares. As our investigative reporter Simonish finds out, it's a case of porn everywhere, but not enough checks to rein in this illegal trade.
The streets of sin. In Burma Bazaar, minor children selling porn, all in the open.
English or Tamil or Malayalam? Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam, English.
Sellers quite literally hound customers to sell pornography. Right under the nose of a police station and close to the old secretariat and even the High Court. These children involved in this illegal trade with impunity due to poverty. Unfortunately, the law does not precisely define obscenity, and such activities are hardly a priority for the men in khaki who are often accused of not even cracking down on prostitution rackets. In Chennai, Sai Manish for NDTV Hindu.
Well, a pitiful stage there and a pitiful state of affairs in our very own city. Now, if you're a frequent netizen, reporting of crimes like this one here could be much easier now if you're a net bug, especially on Facebook. Time now to sit up, as you may now have a new official buddy. It's none other than the Chennai Traffic Police. So yes, you can now poke the Traffic Police on their very own Facebook page. That's all set to be officially launched on Independence Day. But looks like they've already become a hit. They have around 277 followers already, and many of them are giving the policemen some advice too, from feedback on their new speed rule to ideas on how to make that page look better. Police, for their part, say they want to reach out to youngsters who are a majority of the population on two-wheeler riders on Chennai's roads.
Going to be interface between the police and public, actually traffic police and public, so that we will be able to know their problems, as well as we will be communicating about various information about traffic, for example diversions, the infrastructural facility, any modifications to be done. All these things we can inform the persons, and particularly I think it will catch the youth, because nowadays all the motorists, particularly two-wheelers, are mostly youths, so we will be targeting the youths in particular.
Well, still ahead on the bulletin, what morning is this for a father who's still not come to terms with his son's death? A school still torments the man. And US auto giant General Motors get ready and steady to hit the roads on their new set of Hot Wheels.